Hey, 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 how are you? It's Nina Lemtir here, the nutrition lifestyle strategist. Hope you've had a restful Sunday. We are back for session 5 of our Unveiling the Unseen Struggles of Women with Womb Conditions, particularly fibroids, but we cover all womb conditions. Thank you for joining. I hope you're in good health, and we're doing a question and answer session today. So I'm just waiting for Alero to join us. If you've got any questions, please feel free to put them in the, put them as a comment, and we will definitely get to your question. So for those of you that don't know my name is Nina Lemtir, and I struggled with fibroids for many years, didn't know I had them, and they caused so much havoc. In all honesty, I suffered miscarriages, and it was a really dark time, in my life, in all honesty, when I got officially diagnosed. Prior to being officially diagnosed, I had early detection of cancer cells. So my cells were abnormal, and they'd been abnormal for, I think it went to kind of like the stage 2. So it was a really stressful time. And one thing I will definitely testify to is stress. When we are stressed, when things are happening in our lives, we really have to find ways to really just kind of relieve our bodies of the emotion. So find an outlet, do activities that just get the body to relax, and have a system to detach your thoughts. So writing things down, journaling is a great way to kind of step away from the issue, whatever issue you might be facing. So we're going to go into lots of different kind of areas today. Just waiting for Alero to join. And I basically was told that it would be a high chance that I'd have to have a hysterectomy during the procedure because my fibroids were really big. And I had to plead with the consultants, and I had to basically say, there's no way I'm doing that. I really want to be able to have kids. So please don't take all the fibroids out during the removal. Largest fibroids, and they left the rest of them, which were still quite significant, about orange, kind of orange, not the watermelon, the one before that. Hi, Lero. I'm just talking about my story briefly. I didn't realize I went on earlier. Apologies. So yeah, I basically had the myomectomy, bled loads, so it was so touch and go. Luckily, they didn't try and remove them all. And I had to figure out why my fibroids grew so big. I had to address the fact that I was told they would grow back. It was a high chance as well. And I had to have kids as quickly as I could. And it was like, try and have one, see how you go. So it was really, really stressful. But fast forward 10 plus years, I've never felt better. I had to take serious ownership over my health. I had to respect the consultants, but kind of deflect what they were projecting on me in regards to the stats, the statistics, because I didn't want to be a statistic. I really wanted to believe in hope and see what God, what God can do with obviously the actions that I took. So I'm very glad that I did that, because I've not only do I feel better, I can see a distinct correlation in regards to the steps I took at critical points, and the fact that if I hadn't made those changes, things wouldn't be the way they are now, put it that way. If I just kind of continued as business as usual, just continued and just accepted what they were saying, I wouldn't be in good health now. I would have lots of complications. The fibroids would have definitely grown back. Probably wouldn't have my 3 kids. So, you know, it's about really just obviously respecting the medical arena, because it plays a key role in all our lives, but taking ownership over what we can do, you know, for ourselves on a day-to-day basis, and just really widening our knowledge with that. Thank you, Feminine Health Fibroid Support. Really appreciate that. So thank you, Alero. We've got the lovely Alero here. Please, you go ahead and tell us about yourself for the newcomers today.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Nina, and good evening. Yes, my name is Alero, aka Sisilero. My journey has come from having fibroids to adenomyosis to endometriosis to hysterectomy. So I'm currently going into menopause because I've had surgical menopause. So my journey began from the age of 13 when I started my periods, having heavy periods, having pain, being diagnosed with dysmenorrhea, then menorrhagia, which is heavy bleeding and severe pains. Then after that, I became severely anemic as well. Had my first fibroid surgery, which interestingly wasn't supposed to be a fibroid surgery. I went in for an ovarian cyst to be taken out and ended up with ovarian cyst, fibroids, and was 3 surgeries in one that I didn't sign up for. But yes, I felt better after that. Yeah, my appendix was also taken out, even though I didn't have any appendix. So, I didn't have appendicitis. But yeah, after that, I lived without pain. I was pain free for a few years, and then it kicked in again. And when I had scans done, I was told my fallopian tubes were blocked, and I was asked to do hydrotubation, which was very, very painful. And after that, I was I was told I had fibroids again, and I decided that I'm not having any more surgeries because I was really, frustrated with the bleeding and everything. But I was like, no, I'm not going to be caught because when I had surgery it was open myomectomy. I didn't know nothing about fibroids. I didn't know anything about what we know now, and just the thought of me being cut open again, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And eventually after that, I had other surgeries again for fibroids, just trying to shrink it, stop the bleeding. But I was severely anemic. It was so bad. I had to have blood transfusions because I was passing out. I was heavily
Wow.
fatigued. I was, yeah. And when you're anemic, I didn't know the symptoms, but back then I used to crave for ice. So I used to go even to the freezer. I make sure I wash the freezer and then I'm scraping out the ice to eat it. I used to look for ice anywhere and everywhere. It was so bad. But it was only a few years ago I realized it was one of the symptoms of being anemic.
Wow.
And I couldn't, I couldn't control it. The craving was terrible. Yeah, so after all of that, I was eventually diagnosed with adenomyosis, and then 2023 diagnosed with endometriosis, and 2024 eventually I had, because it was so bad, it was really bad. I decided, what, I'm going to have hysterectomy because I couldn't manage anymore, and the endo had gone into my bowel and had spread in a lot of areas. So I just said, you know what, let me just do it, because they said it was 50% chance I was going to end up with the bowel stomach bag. So I didn't want that. So I decided, you know what, just do this.
Mm.
And yeah, and today I'm a lot better. Still going through the process. The body's still fighting and struggling, but yes, a lot better. And I must say, not having a period is fantastic. But
Yeah. Wow. God bless you for sharing and being here to advocate, you know,
yes,
for the younger generation, for women, and to really just highlight the
yes,
disparity, you
hmm,
know, and the fact at so many points on your journey, intervention could have
yes,
taken place in regards to,
exactly.
you know, supporting your body more
Hmm.
naturally, or making other alternatives, and, you know, not just reaching for surgery,
Yes,
possibly. So yeah, your story's so critical, I think, in regards to just letting women know that they should explore their options. They should get a second opinion, a third opinion.
Opinion if necessary. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here. You know, can't believe it's session 5, but
I
we're really,
know.
really, we're grateful. Thank you, Feminine Health
Thank you, Feminine
Fibroid Support.
Health.
Appreciate you too for being here. It's a pleasure. So if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in. We've got a few questions that were sent earlier and yesterday. So, Alera, should we start off with the first one?
Okay. So it was talking about synthetic hair. Someone wanted to know if ACV can remove chemicals in synthetic hair and braids. So is it safe to still use synthetic hair, even though they know that it's been said that it's not safe, it's not healthy, it's not good for reproductive organs? Can they still use it? The answer
Right.
is no. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
because even when you wash it, the hair itself is already made from synthetic chemicals, so you can't wash it 100%. And I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like if you actually know something's not safe, why would you even think of using it, like looking for a way out to use it? I get that people want to use the hair they've paid for and all of that, but I feel like your health is more important, especially if you're a woman and you're not having these issues yet. It's
Yeah.
better for you to start taking care of yourself now. You don't have to get to a point where you have to have a surgery to know, okay, I don't need to wear them synthetic hairs anymore. If now you don't have fibroids, you don't have PCOS, you don't have anything, and you know these things can cause or have an effect on your health, why should you carry on using them?
Yeah.
Well, that's from my point of view. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my answer is no to that question.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in agreement with you, Alero. Having worked in my past life when I was really struggling with the fibroids, I built a salon and I ran a hair salon. I used to work with particular companies for products, and they had to be naturally formulated. They had to own the entire supply chain of the
Okay.
products, because I found that companies that own the entire supply chain were very invested in the quality of the ingredients, in how they put the products together, you know, the materials, and the whole culture of the company was invested in having a very good, safe product. But then you have companies that won't make the products, but they will put their names on it, you know, and this is a cost thing. So you just got to really research into the companies that you're purchasing the hair extensions from or products from, and find out about, you know, who this company is, where they're based, the entire supply chain, because all of these things matter. And companies that don't, they're called white label companies. So yeah, they will just put their name on it. So just do your research, apply due diligence, and do a test to see what you would be sensitive to, because some women will be much more sensitive to certain fibers and, you know, chemicals than others. So it's good if you can know, you know, your sensitivity level as well. But I would say, yeah, just be very careful with the companies that you purchase from, and if you do that, you'll be using great products. Yeah, great formulated product. Trudy Jane says, amazing what you are doing. Thank you for joining, Trudy Jane. Share this video with any woman that you think needs to hear this as well. Rebecca's asking, what hair is safe for braiding? There is a company that was recommended to me on one of my Q&A sessions. If you send me a message, I will forward it to you. I can't remember the name off by heart, but they're doing really well, and it's all natural braiding fibers. So it's a woman, a black woman, I'm sure, that's basically founded her own company to make sure that the products are natural. So she only has natural synthetic fibers, and it's all free from chemicals. So it's really good. If you send me a DM, I'll send you her website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's my second question. So I got the answer to that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Do you want me to go? You want to read your question before I
no,
say
no,
read mine?
you can go
Okay.
ahead.
So it says, are there any safe brands out there? So I had to do a bit of research because for ages I've stopped. As you can see, I just carry my natural hair. I used to try to, relax my hair. I get migraines, I get terrible headaches. And when I relax my hair, you'll ask me, did you actually relax your hair? Because my hair just stays like it's afro. It
Right.
doesn't go straight. So I just said to myself, well, why am I bothering myself? And then I'm going through the headache. So I stopped ages ago. I can't remember the last time I put anything on my hair.
Yeah.
And I braid my hair. I used to braid my hair a lot, but since I went natural, I don't know, I just enjoy my hair. It's just kind of
Look beautiful.
just, yeah, thank you. And I try to wear wigs and it's a struggle as well. So I was like, you know what, let me do me. So I really don't know much about hairs and extensions and stuff. So I had to do a bit of research and I found Rebundle. It's a black owned company, a woman's company for it's biodegradable and it's made from banana plants and
Great.
it's an alternative to synthetic hair. And she's doing an
Yes,
amazing job. So it's called Rebundle. That's
everybody.
all I've found so far. I haven't found any other one, but yes, that's what I found trying to do research. But I think we can do more research and, because when it's our body, it's us. Your health, it comes first before anything, because when you're okay, you're healthy, you can do whatever you want, you can make plans. But when you're not healthy, you can't achieve anything.
Yeah.
So it would, if you have to research to do anything, then do the research before before you make the decision to say, okay, I want to use this, I want to use that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And obviously be prepared to spend a little bit more for a higher quality, safer product, because
Mhm.
the product is going to be more expensive than your kind of standard product, possibly from China or somewhere like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
just be prepared to spend a bit more. But health is wealth, as you
Health
noted,
as well.
Ele.
Hmm.
Yeah. And personally, I use a natural, so to manage, Afro textured hair, I'm natural like a Lero, but I just don't, with 3 kids, my youngest is 17 months. I'm a single mum, I don't have time to do these beautiful natural styles and twist outs and all of that. So I tend to just smooth out my hair every kind of 3 months with a treatment that basically, if you look, our hair's like that, zigzag. So what it does is it fills in the gaps of the hair and it stops it from reverting back as much. So my hair still reverts back, but it's a lot more smoother. And it's basically like a keratin treatment, but it's all natural. So it means that when I blow it out and straighten it, it stays straighter for much longer before the
Okay.
wash. So it's just a great way it's more manageability. So that's what I do. And I prefer that. But yeah, it's about just going more natural as possible. And yeah, keeping chemicals there shouldn't be any chemicals because we don't need it really, like
No.
strong chemicals. And there was an investigation on really major companies that didn't disclose the toxic
So,
ingredients they were using in the
yeah.
products, which is just horrific because this is, they say, oh, why are Black women more predisposed to fibroids and these things? And it's just like, well, we appear to be targeted
Yeah.
by these companies. They're just not being regulated like our white counterparts. So we appear to just be exposed to a lot more chemicals and they're just getting away with it. So we just have to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
And funnily
Yeah.
enough, when I had my salon, I used to use European products. on my clients a
Look at
lot of
that.
the time because I
Yeah.
found they worked better. They worked better. So I don't know if anyone has tried any kind of products that are specifically for Europe Caucasian hair. I used to see a really great response in regards to some of their products. So that's what I use a lot in the salon as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, I found out that it says the countries that buy the most synthetic hair, there are two major countries. Can you guess those countries?
let me guess. Africa? No?
Well, one is in Africa.
Okay. Oh, right. Of course, Africa's a continent. Duh. Countries. Countries. Nigeria?
That's right.
Um,
So
what's the other one?
Nigeria and the USA are the major
Okay.
country, the country that buy the highest quantity of synthetic hair.
Right.
So
Right.
I think as Black people, as we tend to buy more of those products. So
Mm,
it's more like the business is created for us, kind of.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And they just cut so many corners to just get obviously a
Yeah,
very cheap
yeah,
product.
because
Um,
they're coming from China, from Cambodia, Vietnam,
mm,
India. Those are
yeah.
the places the hair comes from. So
Right.
that's like you said earlier. Just check the brands, check what the company is doing.
Yeah.
Do the
Absolutely.
research because they are definitely good companies. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, because when I
Yeah.
saw you can find PVC in synthetic hair, that shook me. If
Yeah. Because it's
PVC, yeah,
yeah.
plastic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we've got some questions.
Okay.
Um, feminine health, fibroid support. Thank you, ladies. Kindly share the details for the safer products. Yeah, we'll do that. Send a message, then we'll definitely share that with you. Do you know Sweel 2901? Do you know if there is a link between having fibroids and high blood pressure? Yeah, that's a good question. I actually came across um, a study, and it was another lady in she's based in America, and I think it was a video on her page, and there was a paper, they kind of done a study on women that have high blood pressure, have a
Hmm.
high risk to fibroid
Fibroid.
development. Yeah, I did come across that. I just can't remember the name of the lady, but yeah, I have come across that kind of that theory, and what I had seen was based on research. So it appears that there is a correlation with having high blood pressure and developing fibroids. Yeah. And just curious, do you suffer with high blood
Fibroid.
pressure, or know a woman that does? Is that why you ask? That would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to read this question from Feminine Health?
I
Did,
use I'm trying to read. Is that a question? I use an app called Yuka to scan products to find out products' nine ingredients before buying them. Oh, I've never heard of that. Do we have that
oh, great.
in the UK? Is that in the UK?
I've never
Never
seen
heard
that.
of it.
That's really good.
Yeah. I'm gonna look for it.
Okay. Rebecca 1612. I have fibroids and high blood pressure. Right. And were you diagnosed with the high blood pressure before you were diagnosed with the fibroids, or was it the other way around, Rebecca? And are you taking medication to treat the high blood pressure? Um, Andia, hey, you okay? Please, can you share any better alternatives to seasoning cubes than the African Maggi cubes? Yeah, that's a really good question. There are a couple of brands that I use. The only thing is the range is very limited, but I get those brands from Holland and Barrett. Um, but yeah, I did have one as well that kind of had a nice curry powder, but it's quite limited in regards to the range. But Holland and Barrett, and yeah, that's where I get mine. And Andy is saying yes, we have yucca, so it is in the UK.
Oh, okay.
This yeah.
Okay.
Rebecca says I had the high blood pressure first. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. Well, if you do you have a plan in regards to your diet and lifestyle? Do you have any plan in place, Rebecca, to address that naturally and support your body naturally to kind of lower that over time? I suspect I always had the fibroids, Rebecca's saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Swahil 2901, I have multiple fibroids and I just found out my blood pressure has become raised. Fibroids first, then high blood pressure. Right. Okay. Yeah. What I would say is definitely have a plan in place to address the high blood pressure naturally and support the body naturally and do that with like a practitioner. So do some tests to really see how you can optimize your body. I do offer tests like that and packages like that. But if you don't have anything in place, that would be a really good place to start, because when you action them, it won't be overnight, of course, but what you'll find is you can start to lower your medication if you are on high blood pressure medication. But I'm not telling you to do that, please. It's not medical advice, but I've just from experience with clients. Andia, okay. Right, Afro Tea, I have the Yucca app too, really great. Great. So everyone knows about the Yucca app.
Does apparently.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Rebecca, I'm on Losartan 100 milligrams. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So do you have a plan, a holistic plan in place, Rebecca?
Mm.
And yeah, but you have to be careful with yucca because what is termed healthy might not suit your health needs. That's a good point. For example, they recommend soya milk, which is a no-no for a fibroid sufferer.
Well
Thank
done.
you for highlighting that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So be
Mm-hmm.
careful with the app. I'm sure it's great, but you still got to be careful for your
Yeah.
conditions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you want to read that
Yeah.
from Rebecca?
Rebecca says, I was prescribed a new medication called Ryco for fibroids. Was in A&E this week. Oh, so sorry to hear. For crazy BP and suspected PE. Oh,
Right.
that is crazy. So what's the Ryco supposed to do? Is that supposed to help with the pain or help with the bleeding?
I can
Heard
answer
about
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I can. So it's for the bleeding. So
Bleeding.
it's basically blocks the estrogen production and then the estradiol, the early estrogen as well, and that's what it basically does. It manipulates the hormones,
Yeah.
so less is produced, and it specifically targets the intraneural, so the lining of
Of
the
the
womb. So it's the symptoms that it's going to address, and the heavy bleeding more so because of that, and then to stem the fibroid growth because of the hormonal manipulation. But it has got quite a lot of side effects and it's still in the monitoring stage. So what that means is they're looking at all the reports coming back from
dosing.
in regards to side effects, because they have to review it because it was brought to market so quickly.
Yeah, because I know I heard it not too long. Yeah.
Yeah. So just I will say journal everything and don't overlook anything,
Yeah.
and report anything that is not ideal. Just report it and get everything checked out,
Yeah.
because they are reviewing the feedback for side effects.
Well, you told that. I'm sure they didn't tell her that. I'm looking to
So,
go down the natural route, but I'm on waiting list for myomectomy.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be even more ideal to kind of have a plan in place before you have the procedure, because it's such a major procedure. What you want is, you want to come out the other end addressing the root causes, significantly, so that you're going to be low
You're not
risk
going. Yeah.
regrowth. That's basically you don't want to look at it kind of in a myopic way and find that you have the myomectomy
And
and then you're
a few years down the line.
that are growing back quite quickly. So definitely start as early as you can, I would say, Rebecca, in just looking at your personal variables in regards to what could be high risk for you. So genetics, are you high risk genetically? So just find out, within your family, are there lots of women that are suffering with fibroids in your family? So just find out, because if you are high risk, you have to obviously navigate that and factor that into what you're doing, and obviously the seriousness of what you're really addressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So saying, yes, it's a black triangle drug. I'll report the blood pressure with yellow card reporting. Okay. So with the blood pressure, yes, you definitely have to record that. But what Nina was trying to say is journaling, like when you take it, watch how your body responds or reacts to the medication and journal that, especially whatever you eat as well, that's this period, journal everything so that you can know how your body's reacting, because it's a new drug, it's just new in the system. So just journal so you know if your body's responding positively or negatively or whatever it is, and you can have that with you when you're going back to see your doctor.
Okay, Rebecca's saying Ryco is meant to shrink the fibroids. I'll send you a research about Ryco if you send me a message, Rebecca, because when I read it, it didn't detail that as the aim. It's more to limit the growth. Not, it didn't talk about shrinking them. But if you send me a message, I'll send you that research paper
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can go through it as well.
Rebecca's saying, I'm a pharmacist and hadn't heard of the drug. I've stopped taking it now. Why did you stop?
She hasn't heard. Who's the pharmacist?
Rebecca is a
Oh,
pharmacist.
okay. And she stopped taking the Ryco?
Ryko. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Rebecca, what made you stop? Why did you make that decision to stop? Hi, Wande. Thank you for joining.
Okay. Then they burn
The side effects were unpleasant. Okay.
blood supply to fibroid. Yeah. So Rebecca, that procedure is the embolization.
Hmm.
I'm sure that's the one you're referring to, burning the blood supply to the fibroid.
So
But if you,
that's,
sorry, go on.
I was just trying to read what she wrote. She said she stopped it because the side effects weren't pleasant. She's having bleeding, daily bleeding, hormonal, vaginal dryness. That is nasty.
Wow. Yeah, the side effects are pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know with
Oh,
some drugs you have to take them for a while before your body adjusts to them as well. So but that sounds really
yeah.
nasty. Then
Okay.
the blood pressure just tipped me over the edge. Okay.
Right. Yeah, that is a lot, Rebecca. That is a lot to deal with. Probably a good call. You know your body more than anyone. And obviously you know what you can sustain pain. So yeah, just listen to your body, really.
You want to read the
Yeah.
next one?
Afro Teen Hair is saying Ryco is said to reduce fibroids by 30%, but the possible side effects are so much, mood, etc. Yeah, yeah, I saw that statistic as well. Yeah. The only thing is, it's anything, you know, the reduction of 30%, but then when you come off that hormonal manipulation and you're not addressing kind of the root
The root of
cause,
the problem.
tends
Yeah.
to happen is that
It's going to become very aggressive, won't it?
yeah, yeah, there's like a growth spurt, so it gets quite aggressive after
You come
you
up
know
with.
that's yeah. So usually it's kind of part of a course of treatment ahead of a procedure. So the aim is to get the fibroids smaller so that the incisions can be smaller and the blood loss can be less. So it's usually given as part of a bigger plan. I've not really seen it being just given not ahead of surgery, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay, so I guess it's kind of like when you take Zoladex before surgery, trying to stop or reduce the bleeding and all of that.
Exactly.
Oh,
So they usually give it as part of a bigger plan.
okay.
Or if you're really young, so let's say you're 28, you're, you know, like 20s, and you're having really troublesome fibroids, they don't want to operate at that age, really. So they'll opt to give you, you know, the hormonal manipulation just to see if it can help reduce the fibroids, reduce your symptoms. So I suppose it's good that there is an option to surgery. You know, if you're so young and you're not in a relationship to want to have kids and you need something, it's that option is there.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah, it's just about monitoring it because it was so fast to the market. It's a grey area kind of with the long-term effects. Rebecca's saying this has been really informative, but I have to leave now. No worries. Bye, Rebecca.
Thanks for joining.
Lovely evening. Yeah, no, it's been, thanks for your questions and contributions. It's great. Thank you. So did we have, I think you've got quite a few questions, haven't you? Did you?
Yeah, that's it really. Because some of the questions were in the questions from there, so it kind of covered it. Yeah.
Okay. How are we for time? I'm just, because I can't see
I can't see mine either.
Does anyone know what time it is? You could put in comments, that would be great.
Oh, 7:35.
Okay.
7:35.
So we're right on time, aren't we? We want to keep it short to this time. Did you want to share anything or?
Well, just a reminder that we have our event coming up on the 8th of March. If you go on our page, we'll probably repost it again. So if you haven't bought your tickets, we'll be excited if you can join us. We're going to have a lovely time for International Women's Day and a time for wellness and, you know, just being in the midst of like-minded people, learning and, you know, talking about what we're going through and, you know, just doing stuff, having fun. We'll have a bit of yoga as well. And Nina's going to be there to talk to us about nutrition and strategies, you know, and all of that. You know, you can get things for free. You can ask questions and get the answers for free if you can make it. So yes, we'll be glad if you can make it. And also, the beautiful Nina's book is coming out tomorrow. Or should I say it's going to be not coming out, but it's going to be, yeah, well, you can make a pre-order from tomorrow. From tomorrow.
There now. So it's
Well, from now, really, yeah.
Beyond the Surgery. If you go on Amazon, search Beyond the Surgery, you can get that on pre-order. So it's a roadmap. It's got strategies. Literally, you can apply what you get from that book, and there's structures there to follow as well. So I'm just prayerful that women are impacted and they're able to just empower themselves and really know more of the belief that it's possible, you know. And yes, we're going to be told diagnoses and prognoses. However, there still is so much that we can still believe in and work towards and achieve. It's all about just harnessing that our natural healing capabilities, you know. And God has made us all perfectly. It's just, I suppose, modern life and how we consume today, and that's what's altered so much of what we ingest, and knowingly, unknowingly, and there's consequences to that. Sad. So if you want to get that, go on to Amazon or drop me a message and I'll send you a link. And there is a free gift for the first 100 when you purchase. So the first 100 people that purchase, just screenshot the payment page, send it to me, and there is a free gift as well as a thank you. So oh, you're welcome.
You're
Swid
welcome,
Healy.
Swill 2901.
Yeah, you are welcome. Thank you for joining, and we will see you on the next live next month. We do it on the third
Sunday of every month.
Great. Okay.
Please don't forget to get your tickets for the 8th of March. It's happening in London on the 8th of March.
And we've got incredible goodie bags that have lovely, I don't want to give too much away, but just know this: you're going to be able to walk away and really start eliminating toxins from your body, and just start making those really critical changes straight away if you aren't already. So it's just about learning more and seeing how we can grow together, essentially. So thank you, Feminine Health Fibroid Support. Really appreciate all your your day. Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you're doing as well. You know, we're all inform, impact, and empower. So let's support each other. Okay. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.